the last class we talked about printers and scanners and how to maintain our printers, the type of printers we have, the specifications, how to run maintenance, how to prevent issues from occurring, what you need to do, and the rest of them. And I think I also gave you an assignment, and I think by now most of you should have submitted for those that were in the previous class. So presently, I think we have like 31 students. And okay. So we'll just dive into today's lesson, and today we'll be talking about the roles of a computer technician. For those that want to go into the job of the computer technician, what you need to know, what you need to do, the qualifications that you need to have, and the rest of them. If you're going to a university, the kind of course that you need to study, and then the other personal skill that you need to possess to be able to thrive, as a computer technician. So we'll just the computer technicians and job description. I said job opportunities continue to skyrocket for computer technicians because most of the industries we have today, is it the IT industry, the hospitality industry, educational industry, any industry whatsoever. I don't think there's any industry that doesn't have anything to do with the computer system, because I'm sure you all understand that most job functions now has direct or indirect involvement with your computer systems. You understand? So in that regard, the job of a computer technician is also needed to run maintenance of this system, to run repairs and the rest of them, in the advice of preparing and total overview of how the computer system will need a computer technician on ground and to properly run support for you in those areas, who is definitely skilled and experienced in this regard. So he said strong job growth in the field has created a demand for computer technician training. As with many IT jobs, a large part of the work is technically based. That means with most IT jobs, even for non-IT jobs, a large chunk of the job you are doing has little, or so much, requirement, and it is technically involved. So the knowledge of computers and computer systems is a must. The knowledge of computers and computer systems. I'm sorry, please just pardon me. All the distractions. Please pardon. I'm sure you all can hear me. So if you are considering, an IT position, especially computer hardware field technician, you should think about working on the development of the following skills. That means if you are looking into becoming, a good computer technician or an IT support staff, or probably even a network administrator, there are some skills that are very, very important that you need to take very seriously. You need to make sure that you develop these skills. And for some of them that you don't have, you need to see how you can be abreast in these skills, because they are very, very important in your growth, in becoming a professional, in the area of computer technician. So the first role or skill you should possess is the ability to interact with computers. That means your interacting skill with computers. Because using a computer or a computing system or a computer hardware field technician means speaking the machine's language. I'm sure we all know from our previous classes that the computer system doesn't understand Yoruba, it doesn't understand English, it doesn't understand Spanish, neither does it understand tongues. But the computer has its own language, and as a computer technician, you should be able to speak the language or understand the language of a computer. Like the popular saying say that, if you are in Rome, you should be able to behave like a Roman. So technically, in the area of interacting with computers, you should be able to understand the language of a computer. So be sure to understand how computers interact with humans and learn to match your thinking skills, in line to the machine. Another skill you should possess, is the ability to collect data and information. The ability to collect data and information. Being a computer hardware field technician is not unlike being a private eye. Most of your job involve diagnosing and repairing a problem. And this task has a lot in common with solving a mystery. When you are diagnosing problems, when you are fixing problems, most of these tasks, are things that you do not know. Your computer will just give you, an attitude. Let me just, quote and unquote, things that you've not seen before. But your role, your skill, and the technical know-how in collecting data and information will help you to solve the mystery in understanding what is wrong with the computer and how to resolve the issue. So a big part of that job involves collecting as much pertinent information as possible in order to diagnose the problem. If there is a problem, you need to know what caused the problem, how the problem arose, what exactly is wrong, how the problem, what the problem is making, how the problem, relates to how the computer is behaving. So you need to collect all this information and data, for you to understand how to solve, your computer issues. Then another skill you should possess is your problem-solving skill and decision-making skill. Problem solving is vital to being a computer hardware field technician. The ability to solve problems. You cannot solve problems, my brother, my sister. If you want to become a computer technician, then you need to think again. If I call you to solve the issues arising in my computer systems, and you go without solving the problem, I'm sure you know that I will not call you again. But if I call you and I tell you that my computer is misbehaving, and as a computer technician, you can, be able to solve my problem, then I will be able to call you again when I have, or I can even refer you to someone else that has similar or other issues with the system. So your ability to solve problems, which relates with the ability to collect data and information and relate them into solving issues when it comes to computer systems. You understand? So if Paris Passu, has an impact into decision making, what you need to do, what you need not to do when you are probably checking those systems. Because any decision you make either makes or mars you as a computer technician. Another skill you need to possess is your communication skill. Your communication skill has a lot to do with you growing in the ranks in becoming a professional in the area or in a job of a computer technician. How you communicate with your computer and how you communicate with users, how you communicate with them, how you receive information from them, how you advise them, in doing what they need to do, how you advise them in maintaining their computer system. Your communication skill is a very important skill, and even not just in the computer technician job, in other jobs, because every day we communicate with each other, whether it's face to face or via the phone or via email or via instant messages, remotely, we communicate with it as I am also communicating with you. I can even solve your computer issues. You can call me and tell me, sir, I have an issue with my system. I will get information, how is it behaving? Is it restarting? Is the computer restarting? Is it showing the blue screen? I get information and I cannot advise you on how to solve those problems remotely without even being there. So your communication skills, is very important in your role as a computer technician. A computer hardware field technician must be able to communicate effectively with clients and co-workers to share information and solve the problems that may arise in the everyday life. Another skill set you should possess as a computer technician is your consulting and the ability to advise others. Your consulting skill and the ability to advise others. A computer hardware field technician often ends up advising others in a variety of tasks. A good field technician is able to foresee the outcomes and the effects of various IT strategies and advise management as to the best course of action accordingly. Your consulting role, being a consultant, someone that has gathered enough skill, enough understanding, enough experience in a specified area, and should be able to advise accordingly, to public management, to companies, to individuals, and to public clients. So, and your professional know-how, your technical know-how is always needed by management and companies. Another thing to possess is the ability to inspect equipment, structures, and material. Your ability to inspect equipment, structures, and material. A computer hardware field technician must ensure that the equipment is operating properly within its environment. In order to determine what is not working properly, a technician must have a fair understanding of the equipment and all its components and how they work together to perform properly. This will help the computer hardware field technician to narrow down the options when troubleshooting. So another skill set is the ability to document and record information. The ability to document and record information. There are baseline metrics that computer hardware field technicians must keep track of in order to properly diagnose a healthy network or computer system. This information is essential to ensuring that the system is running properly. It is important that technicians monitor the efficiency of any computer hardware and also make adjustments if the system is behaving irrationally or probably is running slowly. So another skill set is the ability to develop objectives and strategies. The ability to develop objectives and strategy. What do you mean? And in order to create a smooth working network. So, as a good computer technician, you must maintain a proactive strategy. That means you must be able to foresee issues before they arise, and which involves maintenance, frequent virus scans, creating safeguards. These are proactive measures, in maintaining systems. And these activities will help you to prevent any major issues. That means you must be proactive and not be reactive. You must be proactive. That means you must foresee issues and guard against them rather than wait for those issues to occur before you now start looking for how to resolve them. So, a good computer technician should be able to repair and maintain electronic equipment. You must have a skill set of repairing and maintaining electronic equipment. A computer hardware field technician's main job is in the maintenance and repair of electronic equipment. That means this is your key area. Computer systems, including desktop, laptops, mobile devices, printers, scanners, and what have you, your UPS, are all complex pieces of machinery, and the computer hardware field technician must know how to correct issues with them. The way you deal with a computer desktop might not be is most generally not the way you do with a laptop, and definitely not the way you do with your mobile devices, and not with your scanners. So your understanding is, in how these devices behave will help you to know how to repair and to maintain them. So that is that about your role as a computer technician and the skills you possess. Now we want to look at the role of a network administrator. Of a network administrator, we'll look at the typical employer, those that need you, the qualifications you need, and the training you should get, and your key skills also in this area. So, a network administrator, for those that don't know, are responsible for maintaining computer networks and solving any problems that may occur within them. Computer networks, that means how your computer interact with each other and share data among them. I'm sure you all know that your computer networks can be just in your home, or you can go as wide as different companies and the rest of them, go as wide as different kilometers and the rest of them. So as a computer network administrator, you should be able to maintain and correct issues that arise in a computer network system. So we want to look at the typical responsibilities of the job. One, you should be able to install and configure computer network and systems. As a computer network administrator, you should be able to install computer network systems and configure them for them to, share information with each other. You should also be able to identify and solve any problems that may arise with your computer or with any computer network. That means you should be able to identify the problems and resolve the issues. As a good network administrator, you should be able to consult with clients to specify system requirements and design solutions. If you are like as a network administrator, clients will call you and you should be able to advise them, pari pursue their area of needs and the industry they have, the kind of network they need and the system requirements based on their industry needs. That means the school, system requirements might be different from, a like a church or probably an IT company. So there are as a network administrator, you should be able to advise them accordingly based on their industry requirements. You should be able to budget for equipment and assemble costs. As a good a network administrator, you should be able to advise considering the budget of your client and advise accordingly. You should be able to assemble new systems. You should be able to assemble new systems. And you should be able to maintain existing software and hardware and upgrade tools. As a network administrator, be able to maintain, existing software and hardware, and when probably there is need to upgrade, you should be able to do that also. Then, as a good network administrator, you should be able to monitor computer network and systems to identify how performance can be improved. You should be able to monitor for good and high performance. And you should be able to work with IT support personnel. Your interpersonal skill with your fellow IT support personnel is very key. So we want to look at the typical employers of network administrator. Who are those that need your services as a network administrator? Since almost all industries are now heavily computer dependent, like I said initially, network administrators are needed in most companies, and they include and not limited to the software developing company, software developers, the government. They need they need your services. The finance industry, that means your banks, your microfinance bank, the CPN, your financial, your bank majorly, they need your services. The services, the retail of these world, they need your services because they have computer systems that they need support staff, to work for them. Utility companies, NEPA and the rest of them, water cooperating company, water corporation rather. Schools, no schools like we are doing now, run, online, educational, services, and they need IT network support staff to make sure that the network is running smoothly for the teachers to be able to, give their lectures seamlessly. Universities also, like the one we have to, for services, hospitals, publishers, publishers. So you can see that as a network administrator, your job, is span wide enough in industry. So you might be thinking of that role. You might be thinking of going into, network administration. You cannot be out of job. You cannot be out of job. You cannot be out of job at all, because so many people need you just need to be, good with what you are doing. You just need to be good with what you are doing. So my advice to you today, look in the area of network administration. You will never be out of job. So we want to look at the qualifications and the training that you require to function properly in the area of network administration. The qualifications you require and the training that you need to undergo for you to function properly, because there are network administrators and there are network administrators. For you to have an edge above the rest, the qualifications you need and the training you require. I said there are routes into this career for both graduates and school leavers. Yes, as an SSE graduate, you can even be more sought after than a graduate. Yes, I am saying that as as because what is what I know. Some school certificate holders might be more experienced, are better trained even than some BSc holders. Yes, and this job is not a job of certificate. It is a yes. Some industry might require a certificate, but it is more of a hands-on, experience-based kind of job. I need to know that you can do the job before I employ you. I need to know that you are very good in the area of network administration before I recommend you, for employment. So there are few opportunities to work in network administration role with any degree background. However, this is unusual. Most network administrator jobs advertise act on computer science, software engineering, or electronic engineering. Yes, they always most times ask for a degree. They mostly ask for a degree. So for you to stand a better chance, you can go into, you can go into software, computer science, software engineering, electronic engineering degree, like I read electronic and computer engineering. Any, just for you to stand a chance, but mostly you need to also be experienced, not just having a degree to show. So network administrators need to understand how to connect devices to form a fast and efficient network. You need to understand how to connect network devices to form a fast and efficient network. A fast and efficient network is very key. A fast and efficient network is very key. Therefore, it helps if graduates have experience of running networks on specific network operating systems, perhaps in a school, in a university, or in a company's IT department. You can also apply for industrial placement and summer internship. And like I would advise, my experience in network administrator, was when I went for my industrial attachment placement. Then it was with Guarantee Trust Bank DCB. So when you are in school, make sure that you take up. You don't, you know, don't just, run your in IT placement like that. Make sure you go to any industry and acquire that, that experience you need before you finish your degree program. Make sure you are, abreast, and pursue also run trainings, as a network administrator, CCNA, 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 programs, certifications that will start make you, I will give you a leverage in the area of network administration. So for school leavers, taking a short course in networking and network design, such as run by Cisco, can be helpful, but may not be a requirement for all school leaver employers. To find out more about getting into IT and technology via a school leaver route, visit the IT and technology section of target careers, blah, blah, blah. So the skills that you need, to function properly as a network administrator, the skills that you need to function well as a network administrator. One, you need to be very, very patient. You need to be very, very patient. Yes, you need to be very, I can tell you that for free. Some clients might be so annoying. For as a good network administrator, you need to be patient, for you to understand what your client wants. Because most times, because of the frustration you are going through, or the kind of job load they have in front of them, and because their computer network system cannot function properly, you need to be patient in understanding that they are just being human, and understand their needs and advise on seeing how you can quickly help them resolve their needs so they can quickly continue their job. Most of them have targets to meet, and they are probably in the way, in a link between them and the target, and probably their jobs too. So you need to be very patient in dealing with your clients. So your patience is very key. Your IT and technical skills, your ability to resolve technical issues, and your IT skills is very important too. Your problem solving skills, like we said initially, is also needed here. as a network administrator. The ability to resolve problems. If you cannot resolve problems, then you can never be a network administrator. You should be able to resolve problems. That is where experience comes into play. Experience, experience comes into play. Then understanding your job as an IT professional and network administrator is very key. Then also your interpersonal skill, your interpersonal skill, the ability to relate to people, ability to relate to people. If you don't have this skill, hmm, it will, your ability, because people are the ones that will tell you what is wrong with their system. So ability to relate with them will help you resolving issues. So people don't know how to, to relate to people, and it has really affected them. They are very good in what they do, but your interpersonal skill will help you to go around, especially in a company, and you are their network administrator there. You should be able to relate to staff, smile with them, laugh with them, let them trust you. It is very key. The skill set that is very, very key as a network administrator. Your enthusiasm. You should love what you are doing. You should be enthusiastic about what you are doing, and you should be ready, to be informed, to source some information about new trends, new skills in the area of network administration. Then your teamwork, your team working skills is also very important. It's also very, you need to be able to work with your team members, because they said two heads are better than one. You cannot know all. To be able to work with your team, you cannot be a jack of all trades. You cannot be somebody who can be good with networking, another one can be good with your hardware, some other team member can be good with your software. So, your ability to work with them, will help you in tapping into their knowledge too. Then the attention to detail, the ability to pay rapt attention to detail, you know, will help you to grow in ranks, will help you to grow in ranks as a network administrator. So that is that about that. For those that are thinking of becoming computer technicians, or want to go into network administration, like I said, you might better need to start thinking about probably offering a course in computer science, computer engineering, software development, computer network administrator, electronic and computer engineering, electronics engineering. Those are areas that you need to look into. Then you know, I've given you all the skill sets you need to progress in this round. Then you need to be abreast, look for a company, a good IT company for you to do your IT. It is very, very important. It helps for you to understand most of the things we are talking about, and for you to see all this computer infrastructure and how to relate with them. So, and the address, go into certification, take certification, and whatever you need to get now, you can get them, by just going into YouTube videos. You can get whatever you need. Some of these skills are there, some of these videos are there for free. So it will help you to go in well. So thank you for today. Thank you for today. They go and started say, what should I give you them? Okay, what are other skills that you need to function function as a computer technician. Network analysis. So, assignment today, list other skills that you need to function as a computer technician and network administrator, and send it to my email. My email. Hello. Hello.
Time up.
Time up. Mr. Yemi.
Yeah, I can hear you. Time up.
You are not replying my I've been sending you different messages. Why didn't you reply my message? Mr. Yemi.
I didn't see it.
My sent to introduction to electrical maintenance. Can you hear me? Hello.
I hear you.
Mr. Introduction to
Yeah,
computer electrical maintenance. What is happening now? I don't get access. And yesterday too, my computer network, I didn't get access. Let
I'll
me
call
check.
you. I'll call.
Please, thank you. Thank you, sir. Bye bye, everybody.